Welcome, everybody. We're really into fall now, and we're so delighted to have Alastair, one of our own Help the Helpers people, presenting about focusing on the positive, which I've always said to myself, why does Jane Genlin say what's not okay for you as a way of focusing? What about what's going really well? And so Alice just going to really spell that out for us. And Dorothy will introduce Alastair a little bit more. And here we go.
Yeah. Okay, so Alastair is from Malta. As I said, I'm hoping to get to visit there someday and have him visit the United States. He's a certified focuser. I met Alastair through taking Charlotte's course, 2-year course. And we completed it last year. And I was fortunate enough to have it matched up as a focusing partner, which Charlotte changed us every 3 months to have different focusing partners. And we focused along the way after that. And I just find Alastair's like an amazing searcher for his own truth and truth that can help other people. Incredibly generous person in every way. He first discovered, again, Genlin's work in one of these searches, and found one of his books, and that got him started. So we're really, and also he has a mathematics background, but we didn't find, through one of Jim's questions, we didn't find a direct link yet, but we might hear a little more about that. Anyway, welcome, and we're so glad to have you here, Alastair.
Thank you, Dorothy. Yeah, just to talk a bit about the maths. I mean, I do see a change in my own mentality, over the last 2 or 3 decades, appreciating more, what is uncertain, appreciating the body and human connections. Yeah, and that's, largely thanks to focusing and the focusing community. Yeah. So, greetings to everyone. The rough plan is that I'll to talk and share for about half an hour, then go into breakout rooms for almost 40 minutes, and then come back for the last 15 minutes or so. And yeah, and I don't have a whole lot to say about the topic that you haven't heard already from other people. I don't have anything to say that you haven't heard from other people already. That's yeah, I guess the idea is to give space for people to share their own experiences. So I'll start with a brief attunement. So you might start by noticing the room around you and the sounds and the silences. Notice the support under you and the contact that your body makes with that support. Your feet on the floor, your legs on a chair or whatever they're resting on, your back against a chair. Notice your shoulders and arms and hands. And if any movement wants to come there, you might let it come. Notice your neck and head and face. And as you start to bring your awareness inwards, you might notice what's already open, flowing, alive, and also anything that doesn't feel like that. So then bringing your awareness to your throat and chest and belly. You might issue a gentle invitation like, what would like my awareness now? Yeah, so yeah, for those. Yeah, so at your own pace, please bring yourself back to the room. So we will be, it's a natural part of human psychology to focus on, to pay attention to what is not going well, problems and issues. Those grab our attention. Yeah, that instinct helps us to survive. It helped our ancestors to survive. And problems and issues tend to be more urgent. But if we're lucky enough that we're not dealing with urgent issues all the time, then we can take some time to pay attention to what is going on. Deliberately giving some awareness to that. And yes, we will take some time to reflect on appreciating what is good in our world, what is good in our own personal life, things that we've achieved and that we're proud of, and expressing gratitude. So I can open the floor up for people who want to share about that. What comes up for you when you reflect on those things, when you reflect on what is good in your world, in your life, what you've achieved, and what you're grateful for. Maybe I should go first. Yeah, and I do realize that I don't yeah, I don't do that very often. Appreciating what is positive. But there are certainly many things. I mean, when I compare myself to other people, I realize that I've been lucky in many different ways. You just have to turn on the television or watch the news or something. And it doesn't mean that everything is going well in our life, but yeah, I've been blessed with a happy childhood, good parents, good teachers. Yeah, the opportunity to study and travel. Mostly good health, as always. But I'm lucky that I live in a country where there's a good healthcare system, which is paid for by taxes. Yeah, and I didn't do anything to bring that about. There's a huge effort by tens of thousands of people over decades and centuries that created those systems. And not just people, the world as we live in, the physical world, that's also created the environment that I'm in, with the bad and the good in it. And we don't appreciate. I certainly realize I don't appreciate that very often, or I take it for granted. It's so easy to take things for granted. Is there someone else who'd like to? Oh, Maria, please. You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this as a focus for this morning. And as you were tuning us, what came to my attention is this something in me um, that seeks out help when it's needed. That it feels like it's a something that goes before me if I pay attention to it, to help guide me to my next sense of rightness. And it's like a reaching out, seeking something. And as I noticed that, I had like this appreciation that, that my body's there working for my good somehow. So that's what I felt this morning. Yeah, yeah. I just kind of want to give myself a hug. Yeah, that underneath the problems, there's this moving something that if I pay attention, it's kind of pointing me to where I may need to go. So, yeah, much appreciation for that.
I really appreciate your saying that, and it's a wonderful awareness that there is a felt sense of the moving forward process, no matter what the circumstances are, and that we can rely on that. It's quite an amazing gift.
Yeah, sure is.
I find that sometimes when I wake up and I'm writing in my journal, I need to write the things that I'm worried about or troubled about first, and I sort of list them, and then I can go to the place of what's going well and what I'm grateful for, and somehow the naming the worries allows me to sort of clear a space there. But I think the difference is that I don't go then into one of the worries the way you would in a traditional clearing a space. But I clear the worries and then say, well, what do I feel good about?
And it's interesting you mentioned, yeah, that's a practice that I've adopted myself in the last month or two, to journal every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was, I saw it recommended in a book by Benjamin Hardy.
Ah,
Yeah, he's a psychologist. He's got quite a few interesting books. So I'll put that in the chat.
thank you.
Yeah, so the book is called, it's actually called Willpower Doesn't Work. And there's that. And there was some other book I wanted to mention, and it came up just yeah. Yes, I was lucky in some ways in my life, and many people are unlucky, and there are people who start off from a bad place and manage to have success in life. No, I don't want to make this sound like or you just need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and just work hard and don't complain about the circumstances or anything. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I'll get the name of the book and yeah, put it in the chat as well. Yeah, it was, I think, I've forgotten the name right now, but I'll put it in the chat if I find it. It's called Children Who Fail at Life, Fail at School, but Succeed in Life. It's the Swift or Natty, please.
Thank you, Alastair.
Thank-
Thank you so much for bringing this up. I have this, as you were guiding us in this, I was just feeling so much gratitude for this very moment, where we can share together, where gratitude that I can be here, that I don't have to be rushing to somewhere else. These simple but really very significant and important things, and I was labeled as too simple because I always used to say, look at the sky, look at the clouds. And I'm not somebody who didn't go through difficult things, but it's like there's always something in the middle of pain, of suffering. So we can, I find that I can look up at the sky and I can feel I'm part of this universe, I'm part of this world, and I can have gratitude in my heart, and I can feel gratitude for all of us here, for Lynn creating this space and having kept it up since pandemic, and so there are so many things that we can, and then to focus on that, and just allow for all of that feeling of gratitude to feel our lives and bodies. I feel, and as I'm saying that, there's an emotion coming up here. It's so powerful. Thank you, Alastair.
You're welcome. Thank you, Natty. Yeah, gratitude is something that's mentioned by many people, and there's scientific research as well that people who have more gratitude, they enjoy other benefits as well. Yeah, and that's not something that comes naturally to me myself. Yeah, and maybe it would be good, to try to express gratitude more deliberately, and maybe then it will become more natural as well. I don't know. I haven't tried that myself, to be honest. But I am aware that there's a practice in nonviolent communication about expressing gratitude more explicitly, which again, it's not that it doesn't feel natural, but I can see the benefits from it, and there are people who teach focusing and MVC together. I've done a few sessions on that with Beatrice Blake. And that was certainly I certainly appreciated that course, combining focusing and nonviolent communication. Yeah, so that's something that's I would recommend to if you have any. Yeah, if you're interested in that, then it was certainly valuable for me. I wouldn't be surprised if you would find it helpful as well. Oh, Sophie.
Yeah, thank you, really, for bringing this topic. I really feel how the not well, what's not going well is so grabbing, and how the world kind of, or the structure kind of work around that, the war, the sensational, yeah, a lot. So I really appreciate you bringing this in. It's really a practice of mine to focus, to deliberately bring my attention to what's going well, what I appreciate. And there are days, they may feel like there's only one tiny thing, but that tiny thing is life force. There might be, like somebody said, the sky, or the green out there, an animal moving. That's alive. And I think this is, if this practice would grow and be bigger, sometimes I think with the war in Ukraine right now, we are bringing arms for more war. But what would it be if we shift? Would we find how to finance peace? Myself, I try to reflect on that. Say, what would I do? How? I don't want to abandon Ukraine, but what would I do if I don't pay for more arms for war? So I think this subject is about that. Is about really, there's so much that's going well. How would it be if all news would be about what's going well? There's so much that's going well, but we hear so much about what's not going well, and it's overwhelming. So I'm dreaming about the field of news that will expand. I know that there is some already, but that would expand and start with what's going well, and they would put energy in that and money in that, and so it grows like watering the seeds, watering the good plants. So thank you for bringing this subject. I really appreciate it.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I'll share the document. In the chat. And before we go to breakout rooms, I did want to give some space also to the negative aspect, or some negative aspects maybe. That's that might come up around what is positive. And what do I mean by that? So just share. Close the buttons. Just a minute while I find how to share my screen. Yeah, so there might be negative experiences made up with the positive. We might have felt pressure to only express what is positive and ignore or suppress everything else. Or there might be, on the other hand, unwanted pressure to use certain talents and gifts, or pressure not to use certain talents and gifts. There might be things that we cherish, but that are not appreciated or not wanted by other people. Or there might be messages that we got, like never show off, success is unsafe, making money is always immoral. Or we might want to share our gifts with others, but the culturally accepted ways of doing that don't resonate with us. I certainly, and I'm sure I'm not alone in the focusing community. I don't like marketing very much. There are maybe different ways of marketing, and yeah, but so that's just one. Those are just some points that I wanted to bring up. Yeah, to give space for that as well. And yeah, so now we can go to breakout rooms so that we can have time for focusing and sharing. And I guess we can do 40 minutes. Yeah, there will be 2 or 3 people in each room. And I think that's Katrine will be setting that up. When that's ready, Katrine, please let me know. Oh, Christine, sorry. Christine, please.
It's okay. I'm sending these up right now.
Okay, thank you.
And you do want to participate, right, Alastair? You want to go into a room?
Yes, please.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And so
See the fire.
each person will take a turn to sort of find what's positive that they want to notice and pay attention to. Right, Alastair? That
Yes, yes. Oh,
Dark
and
art.
there's the prompt before you
Yeah.
join. Yeah, there's the prompt that's
yes,
will
yes.
give you just a minute.
Good. And we'll come back at 9:30 or 9:25, maybe 9:25. How long would you like to give us, Alastair?
40 minutes, I think.
40 minutes, okay. So like 9:30.
And I put the prompts in the chat.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Is there a way, Christine, is there a way to send that prompt to the people in the chat, in the rooms? Christine?
Sorry about that. Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you.
Good.
So I'll go
Okay, see
uh,
you soon. Well, everybody should be back.
Should.
Everybody should be back soon.
Yeah,
So
I think the Zoom tradition, Lynn, is to wait until you get kicked out.
oh yes, that is the tradition. It's true.
And in Zoom meetings, generally speaking.
Mhm.
Oh,
Well, everybody was probably very engrossed with focusing on their positive things.
yeah,
Nice way to start the week, right?
yes,
Yes.
really, really nice.
Hi, welcome back.
We're coming back.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi. Hello.
I love your painting, Monica, behind you, wherever she just went. Beautiful painting.
Thank you. I'm not sure who said that, but that's fine.
Yeah, so I think we're all back. We would love to hear what happened in your breakout rooms, anything that you want to share.
I'd like to share that we had a wonderful experience, the 3 of us, starting with not knowing what positive was, not being able to really
Ah,
reach positive, and it felt like the word was not, it couldn't quite define our experiences.
Yes.
Too narrow. And we all moved forward to a place of finding a sense of a new place that felt really good for all of us. And then we defined it as positive for us. And it was a wonderful experience. Very connecting and caring and in balance.
What a wonderful way to start to really look at what we mean by the word positive. I think that it's often used in a very dichotomous way as positive and negative. And of course, focusing doesn't fit into these dualities. And so it was wonderful that you sort of deconstructed that for yourselves.
And Margaret, also, you helped us along the way.
There's a practice that I got from Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Buddhist monk, and I love it. It at any point in the day, especially if you're frustrated in some kind of way, to say, this moment is a wonderful moment. And it's amazing. It's sort of like walking on the beach and picking up an ordinary stone or shell and saying, what's wonderful about this particular shell or stone. If you're sort of waiting in a line and you're antsy and you think, this moment is a wonderful moment, it completely changes the feeling of it.
That was a wonderful reminder.
Maybe it's just saying this moment. It puts you in the moment.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And in the few minutes that we have left, maybe we can talk a bit about sort of the prompts or reflections that we give in focusing. Because yes, I mean, so many of the prompts are around what is difficult, so giving it space, maybe finding distance from it, giving it empathy and comfort, there's sort of, if there's something positive, then one of the prompts that I've heard is, you can take some time to feel that as fully as it wants to be felt. And also that can be helpful when we have a shift in our focusing, to not just let that pass by and go on quickly to the next thing, but to feel that shift and appreciate the shift, and feel it as fully as it wants to be felt. And I'll give space for if you have other prompts that are particularly appropriate, for good things that come up in focusing. I don't know if
Alastair, that reminds me of Jean, who felt that the bodily expression was very important. And when he would yawn in a conversation, he would say, "Thank you for the yawn," as if he was looking to the skies. And I always got a kick out of that.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Something that I've been doing this year is just appreciating my teachers. It's at the end of a focusing session, and appreciating also the focusing process. And I guess it's easier to take for granted, but yeah, I think I do remember, a time when I didn't have that process, and it certainly helped. I mean, okay, focusing is a natural thing, but knowing about focusing, in a more explicit way, it helps me to appreciate focusing. Helps me to do it more deliberately, and that has been helpful for me. So yes.
Thank you, Alastair. And it's BJ for that. I felt it as an affirmation because somewhere in my training, I remember the idea being presented that at the end of a session, as I wrap it up, I say, I'm really grateful for all the teachers of focusing, however they've experienced it and however they try to give it to us. And thankful to my body for bringing me this experience. So it's kind of rote in a way. And I don't know how people hear it who didn't get that suggestion somewhere, but it's a real beautiful way for me in that moment to honor the tradition of focusing, all the faces of all of you and all of the formal teachers that I've encountered. Kind of like that thing in Buddhism about giving the merit some place, and it makes me feel like I make some small contribution by just naming it, just saying thankful for this tradition and these many people.
Including Alastair, who is.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thanks, BJ. And it's interesting that word affirmation. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that's, for me, when I hear that word affirmation, it feels like like forcing myself to be positive. And so if I don't know, saying I want to be a good teacher, there might be some affirmation that says I am a good teacher. And something in me says no, you can't. I mean, if you're not a good teacher yet, then I don't want to say I am a good teacher. So what I have found that helps with that is to do it maybe in a more focusing way and say, what would it feel like to be a good teacher? Or what comes up around that, maybe what's the next step that I need to take to be a good teacher or a better teacher? Yeah, that certainly feels better with me than just saying I am a good teacher. As if you're asserting, as if I can just assert, something, and the universe will change as a result. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so there's just a few minutes left. I don't know if maybe we should pass on to Dorothy and the poem.
Okay.
Unless there's, is there someone who wants to share one last thing before we go to the poem?
Yeah, I would like to ask you, what does it feel like to be like a good teacher? Do you like the feeling, Alastair? I can maybe deepen that a little. In our breakout room with June and Natty, it was by holding the resonance for each other, rather than saying good, bad, or whatever. we kind of could bring ourselves into the experience rather than the words, and was beyond the words. And June reminded me that I could always access it, but I had just fallen out of it. So so it was lovely, and I agree with that. You know, that it's there, but it was pretty deep trying to get it. So it's just I'm hoping you're enjoying the feeling of liking being a good teacher. Thanks, Alastair.
Thanks, Pauline.
Yeah, I would like to say something. This is Gray. I just want to thank Roberta and Sarah. We had a lovely meeting. Very, very deep and very rich. Thank you both.
Thank you. And yeah, Dorothy.
Okay. The poem that Alastair found, it didn't have an author, but it's Breaking Glass Tunnels. And here we go. My life has been good. It has been valuable. My skin has been kissed by the warmth of the sun. My ears have taken in complex, sweet melodies, harmonies, 100 voices strong. My eyes have witnessed more sunsets than I can remember. Pink, orange, yellow, blue, combining with softest sweetness, quietly proving that there are infinitely many versions of perfection. My mind has marveled at the intricacies of biology, the beauty of nature's order, that laws governing all space-time can be made clear with the power of reason. And the whole of me has felt the force of love. That force that comes from somewhere unknown, but sits in the center of my chest, extends out through both arms and turns to the beloved to radiate the thought, you are so beautiful. What a wonderful thing that you are here. What a wonderful thing that you exist. My life has been good. It has been valuable. It has added value to the world. So don't tell me that had I not existed, the world would not have been worse. And don't tell me that it doesn't matter whether or not more people get to see, hear, feel, be the goodness of this world.
Very beautiful.
Thanks, Alastair, for that poem.
Thank you.
Maybe you
And
can put that in
thank-
the chat.
You go. Yes, it's in the chat.
It is in chat. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Wow, beautiful. Wow.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Thank you again, Alastair.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you,
Thank
Alastair.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alastair and Lynn.
Thank you, Alastair.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Thanks.
presentation, Alastair.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Gray.
Thank you, Alistair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alastair.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thanks, Pauline. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a
Bye,
good
June.
week, everybody.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you so much, Alistair. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh, great. Thanks, BJ.
Have a
You're
good
welcome.
week, everyone.